Cabron.
Bitch.
Just realized that this lighting scheme I have set up puts a red dot right on the tip of my head. Look like I'm going to get shot by a sniper from above. Or I just have a giant zit on my head. All right. Welcome to the Guns for Everyone podcast. I am Isaac Chase.
And I am the dude.
This makes me like so uncomfortable. Because it feels like I'm saying like I'm important.
I'm important. You're not.
Like, I'm not important.
No, not you're not, but like I am, and you, the audience,
Yeah.
is not.
Yeah. I mean, some people are like, oh, my mom thinks I'm special. Like, my mom never told me I was special growing up. So, and I know your mom never told you were special. So it's like it goes against everything I was taught growing up. You're not special. Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. All right. So I want to make sure we say right at the top, because I forgot to do this in a video I did this week. We got classes on March 14th and 15th.
Yep.
14th is carbine. 15th is handgun. And these are the IDS classes, intuitive defensive shooting. If you're like, man, I want to take a carbine class, you gotta come to this class. Very important.
You have to.
You have to. There's no choices.
Legally.
Legally obligated. If you're a legal gun owner, you have to come.
And all these classes can be found at gfenational.com, gfenational.com. That's where you can find that stuff. It's already listed there. These are not free classes. They are not concealed carry classes. That's kind of been the thing, is if it's a concealed carry class, then I feel obligated to make them mostly free most of the time. These are not concealed carry classes. The pistol class can be used if you tell us, we can make sure that it qualifies for you. But that's not the objective of that course. So it is not a free course, but they are up on the website for March 14th and 15th.
Yeah, I've done that at least once, where I ran through the curriculum, the material for the IDS course, and then administered the nonsense for one person after it was over, so that they could get their certificate to apply for their permit. So, or actually, I think it was a renewal in that case, but yeah, so we can make it that if you need it to, but that's not the purpose of the class.
Right.
So these are going to be in Colorado Springs at the Pikes Peak Gun Club. Real nice facility. I'm really enjoying using it. So, and I'm keeping it all to myself. I'm not letting Edgar participate.
Oh, I've noticed that. I've noticed.
I don't know what my problem is.
You're supposed to fucking get us in
psychological issues. That's all I can say.
You're supposed to get us in for competitions.
Yeah. Since we're listing off problems, I also pissed all over myself right before the podcast. So, full disclosure, I do have problems.
Shit.
All right.
I'm pissing myself now.
So last podcast you were physically handicapped.
Yeah, that
you feel better?
Bad. Oh, dude, it's gone. So it's not even there anymore. Yeah, that vertigo was rough, man. The shit was not fun. It was basically from Sunday-ish, definitely Monday, all the way to Friday. By Saturday, I was fucking like nothing. But that shit was not.
Yeah, and you had a class that Saturday, so
yeah. I had a class. I was kind of hoping that it wasn't going to be present for that. It wasn't. It was good.
Good. All right.
I've got I don't know what you want to start with, but I've got a video to start talking shit about most instructors. And it's not even instructors, it's just philosophies. I always feel bad afterwards saying instructors, but it's what the industry has created, and a lot of instructors do genuinely believe that they're doing the correct thing. And it's not a malicious thing. Haha, I'm teaching bad shit. They just don't know that it's bad shit.
Yeah,
And
we're not always aware of what's influencing us.
correct.
Actually, usually we're not aware of what's influencing us. So I think that in general, we're as hard on ourselves as we are on everybody else. So
Yeah.
it's fair.
So I've got this video that I've been wanting to share for a while.
Okay. I like the safety vest.
Yeah, you gotta have the safety vest. Um, have to, or else how would people know?
So this is EF C? No, EF combatives.
EFC combatives,
EF
EF combatives. Yeah, yeah,
EF.
EF combatives.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who Jay Wadsworth 4285 is. But I do like the title of this, and I don't know that I want to talk about ties, but I do want to talk about this emphasis of why it's more important to process information than it is to just be really quick to the gun.
Okay.
Um, and this is a perfect example of this right here. We'll watch it. There is audio, but who
I'm
needs
sure it's not
audio?
that important.
Nah. So obviously the very first one is person that just wants to be quick at to draw. And
Hmm.
I think that's the whole point of this video is that individual
Got
was
shot a
it
bunch of times.
got shot a fuck ton of times. So he tied. He
Even
also
even on a slow decision, or maybe not we don't know what the decision was, but on a relatively slow bad guy draw.
yeah, I mean the whole setup I'm sure is the bad guy doesn't want to be a complete asshole because he could have just shot him as soon as he uncovered.
Hmm.
Um but obviously it's staged, so they kind of know something's gonna happen. I'm sure they don't
Yeah.
know exactly what's gonna happen, but they're aware that something's gonna happen. And then the second guy is so this guy shoots, but he still died. This guy
Hmm.
right here looks like he's about to, and he's like, "Oh fuck no! How about I control his firearm instead of drawing mine?"
Hmm.
And that's information processing, right? This is what we argue all the time. This is what we recommend all the time. Yeah, he didn't shoot. He wasn't super quick at drawing, but at the end, he still had to control the gun. He still had to win the fucking fight.
Yeah.
I'll take not drawing my gun really quick, and winning over drawing my gun really quick and fucking losing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because bad guy dying is not the measure of whether or not you won the fight. Uh,
Correct.
so
Correct.
I do think also that emphasizes another point, or draws out another point. I see this a lot from people that if you're not working jujitsu, if you're not working combatives, if you're not working gun disarms and gun retention, then you're not serious about self defense. And I would just like to ask, like, could you picture your grandma in either one of those two
In jujitsu.
positions there? Now, if you're in law enforcement, like there is an expectation
Yeah,
of a certain amount of not only ability but also how much risk are you willing to take in training in order to make sure that you don't get killed by a crackhead who you could have beat in a fight.
correct.
Um, so it's not that this is not valuable, but uh, at the end of that clip, he takes that guy down and he puts his knee into the back of his hand, and in my experience, my limited experience with combatives, I had a guy's forearm like against my trachea, and he was doing a
You think it was his forearm.
yeah. Yeah. I got no comeback to that. I got
You keep telling yourself it was his forearm.
that's all I could say. It was just a blinding flash of light. Um, and he's pressing down on my trachea with his forearm, and that's not a sturdy bone. Uh, so I like now I've talked myself right into the corner. There's nowhere to go from here. But people get hurt. People get hurt, and if you accept that and you're like, okay, I'm going to this, I know I could get hurt, fine. But to expect that if you're going to buy, own, and maybe carry a gun for self-defense, that you're not serious unless you go to this level of training is preposterous.
It's crazy, dude.
Because it's dangerous, and it requires a certain level of physical strength and ability, that some people don't have. And even if they did, throwing their bodies around like that without knowing what they're doing is pretty dangerous stuff.
Well, I wasn't expecting going here, but it's a conversation that I've had to have with a bunch of old cripples where they say, "Well, I can't run anymore, so I got a gun." I was like, I don't know that that's the solution. Like, it's a solution, but I don't know if it's the solution, because if that happens again to this point, they have this false insecurity security of, well, I'm just gonna draw my gun and then shoot this fucker until
Yeah.
they get fucking have a dick on their fucking trachea, and then they can't they can't do anything anymore. I mean, forearm.
Yeah, I mean forearm. Yeah, so it's just painting with that broad brush of like, if you can't this, then you like suck or aren't serious or aren't capable.
Correct.
Or to your point, the gun is the answer because I can't do anything else.
Correct.
And we have to think a little bit more critically of that. So, yeah, that was a good clip. I think. What do you think about the concept in that clip of what constitutes surprising? So,
I think it, because I wasn't there and I didn't run the thing. But just from their title, it seems like they're trying to present a good concept. They're trying to present not this is what it's going to be like, but more of the reality of one guy drew his gun and still got shot. Regardless of how fast, how slow, how anything, he still got shot. Because I don't think you can beat that. I mean, the motherfuckers got the drop on you. I don't.
Yeah, I think once the decision has been made from the bad guy's point of view, that you can't beat that. The question, what we tend to see when people win around that, is that the bad guy has not really made their decision. And without a decision, you can't have an action. So,
yeah. So it seems, if done correctly, I mean, obviously I would hope that the lesson there isn't be quick to draw your gun. The lesson there is process information and win the fight,
make the
regardless
best
of
choice
the
you
gun.
can.
Yeah, for sure. So I think if done that way, then super valuable.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because I've talked many times in the last several years about the Craig Douglas ECQC. And without seeing how these scenarios are run, the general default criticism is, are we lacking the surprising part of using the gun? Because once it's no longer a surprise, you are now planning around the firearm.
Correct.
And it's not that you would never ever plan around using the firearm within a self-defense situation, but does the skill set you're building work well when there is a surprise? Does the skill set respond or allow you to respond as well as possible when you cannot plan for self-defense? So in this case, it's not surprising in that everybody's wearing helmets and carrying sim guns that are designed to be shooting each other. It's not surprising in that you have a jacket over your head and we're basically counting down to go time. That's not surprising. The surprising is, what is the stimulus going to be when the hood comes off?
Correct.
Is this a shoot stimulus? Is this a defend the firearm stimulus? Is this attack the firearm stimulus? That kind of stuff. So, hey, Joseph, good to see you, and Oliver as well. So the first topic that you wanted to talk about was the Mexican Shane Gillis, getting disarmed and arrested.
Tell me you don't look like Shane Gillis.
He does. He looks like Shane Gillis's like Mexican little brother.
So I'm sure a lot of people that have nothing to do with guns are going to stumble upon this one every once in a while. And
Yeah,
fucking,
Shane Gillis got arrested by the
yeah,
Colorado Parks Department. What?
fucking. Should we play the clip? I'll play the
Yeah,
clip.
we should play the clip. I actually, the first time I saw the clip, I thought it was fake. But I didn't see the whole clip. I just saw like the beginning of it.
Yeah. So here we go. I don't think you'll be able to hear the stuff and the things. It's got some good audio. I don't think you'll be able to hear it because of the way it's set up. Yeah, you won't be able to hear it. Fuck it.
That's okay. I watched it earlier today just to remind myself. So.
Get the fuck on the car, or you're fucking arrested. I'm not. Get the fuck on the car.
There goes fucking Shane Gillis.
He's like, he should have started doing his Trump impression. Great job, guys. You're doing a great job.
You're a fucking puss. You're a fucking bitch. And you're gonna learn the fucking hard way.
This is what made me think this was fake. The way this cop was talking to this guy, calling him a bitch and telling him to learn the hard way, you know.
I don't give a fuck what you asked me for, bitch. Shut up, bitch. What's wrong with you?
Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Look at that.
If you're in the comments, tell us if you can hear it. You should be able to hear
I'm a
it.
U.S. citizen. What's wrong with you? Wow. Stop. Get him in the fucking car.
So, anyways, he gets arrested. I know there's going to be a lot of people who are like, well, you should just comply. Like, that's not in the spirit of 1776.
Yeah.
First off, the biggest thing, obviously, for this context, without fucking talking immigration, is they're acting as if him carrying a gun is a big problem. Like, he's got a gun. Like, yeah, like what the fuck did you expect? Like, it's like we're in America. I thought this was America.
So, leaving aside the immigration issue, the issue we have here is federal law enforcement gaining traction with basically randomly stopping people. And if you're armed in this scenario and you've got law enforcement who's treating you as a criminal in this scenario, this is dangerous. This is really dangerous. And I'm not going to say that this guy did right or wrong, but touching the federal agents and pushing them when you have a gun on you is dangerous. That's really dangerous stuff. And if you accept that, like, you know, this conversation about Renee Good and Nick Sortor or whatever that guy's name is, and all these people who are like walking into the middle of a complete shit show and getting hurt or getting violated in some way. If you knew that this was going to happen and you accept the outcome, then I think you're being an adult.
Yeah.
If you are like trying to get pity from people by like, look, I got attacked, like, you are going into a very dangerous situation. Correct. And you need to acknowledge that and hopefully accept whatever outcomes happen. Like, not that they're morally right or whatever, but you know, I like this guy, we don't see any of the video before what happened. So we don't exactly know what led up to this. I'm sure he was just minding his own business and he was stopped. You know, like, he didn't volunteer for this. He didn't volunteer to get into
this wasn't argument. A protest. This wasn't I'm trying to do. He was just quite literally minding his own business.
And I tend to think that he was just minding his own business, because you don't hear all the honking horns and the whistles and all the people screaming at the ICE officers. You don't hear anything. You just hear what's going on between them. So probably lends some credibility to him just saying, I was minding my own business. So,
correct. This is for me, it's this crazy idea because it's the fucking slippery slope. It's the cliche of give them an inch, they take a mile.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously hilarious for you and I to see how the roles have reversed, right? And 5-6 years ago, they wanted to check everybody's papers for COVID, and
Yeah. And we were like, how are we gonna run a roadblock? Like how are we how are we gonna blow through a roadblock? Because they can't do that to us. They can't stop us.
They can't stop us. That's bullshit. And then now the same people are like, I'm not going to carry medical papers around to prove I'm healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Now the same people are essentially arguing,
Where's your papers?
Everybody should have papers. And again, setting the immigration conversation aside and the fucking hilarious hypocrisy on both sides, as gun people, this is gonna get super fucking spicy because there's a fuck ton of humans who look Mexican that may or may not be Mexican that are carrying guns. That this is probably going to happen to a lot more. I mean, we're already seeing it. There's going to be a lot of fucking danger shit. I don't know. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen.
Well,
Shit,
it kind of goes back to when people ask about whether or not you tell a cop if you're armed. In Colorado, there's no duty to inform.
Correct.
Even if they ask you if you have a gun, if you don't have to tell them. But one of the things that I always try to impress upon people is that when you have conflict with somebody, there's risk involved with that. When you have conflict and there's a gun involved, the risk goes up. And if there's conflict and two people have guns, the risk goes up even more. And we need to think ahead on that. We need to think through how our own personal risk tolerance and ability to handle that risk is going to play out. And so if you've got people who are lawfully armed, who are being stopped by federal agents, that's risky. There's increased risk for those people and anybody around them when that happens. And we need to pay attention to that.
Correct.
So
also, I will say this, that again, setting aside whether right, wrong, because we weren't there, we don't know the whole story. But just from that clip, that's a lot more Molon Labe than the people who have Molon Labe tattoos.
Oh yeah. Like I said, putting your hands on officers like that while you're armed, like that's ballsy, dude. I give Shane Gillis a lot of credit.
It's so funny that I'm positive the people with Molon Labe tattoos and stickers, they're probably the ones that are running around like, well, he should have just complied.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think that tattoo means what you think it means. I don't think you're getting it.
Yeah. To catch up on the comments here, Tanner's talking about when and how announcing that you have a gun, even though this whole interaction was BS. And that's really the kind of the part of the question we're trying to address here is like, what is the right thing to do under specific circumstances? You get pulled over for going 80 in a 65. You were doing wrong, and it's time to
wrong according to according to the law.
What's that?
Wrong according to the law.
Yeah, wrong according to the law, but you knew the risk you were taking when you did it.
Correct.
Right? Like you knew that there are state troopers and they have radar guns, and if they want to pull you over for going faster than posted limits, they can do that. So that's something you knew could happen.
Yeah.
In this case, this guy, for whatever reason got stopped, and now he's being aggressively approached for what? Like, what did he do? We don't have any evidence that he did anything.
Well, he already got his gun back. He everything was dismissed, everything because they have nothing.
In the after video, did he explain how he got stopped?
Yeah, he doesn't explain, or it's pretty lengthy. I don't think we have enough time.
Okay.
But
well, I mean, we know that the ICE agent didn't pull him over for speeding.
Well, they can't.
They can't, so they stopped him for an immigration, for suspicion of immigration.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty safe assumption, I think.
So these are, you can find it here. Mm-hmm. He does talk about it. Obviously, there's a Reddit post about it. he does end up getting his firearm back. Everything was because they took him, they booked him, and he talked about the other people that were there.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were just rounding motherfuckers up. They talked
Mm-hmm.
about the other people he met there that were there basically a whole day, no evidence of wrongdoing, not in the country legally, in the country as U.S. citizens. And at first I thought it was hyperbole when they talked about that. And now we are seeing a lot more and more people who are like, I'm a fucking U.S. citizen and I'm being fucking hemmed up for no fucking reason. So but he does talk about it. He gives his version of what happens. I'm sure people from the Orange team, from the Orange Man team, they're gonna say things, and people against the Orange Man are gonna say the other things.
I'm not a qualified historian of the internet, but in the amount of time I've spent online since this has happened, I haven't seen anybody defending what happened to him. But I also haven't seen a lot of the Orange Man type people saying that this was wrong either. You know, like not standing up for him in this scenario. So Tanner says, what would you do in that situation? I don't know.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
That's the biggest what if. I will say that my tone has changed on police interactions, and I at this point would not tell a cop that I'm carrying a gun. It's irrelevant. It's highly irrelevant to why I'm getting pulled over. And it's not a fuck you. It's just like I don't have to, and there's no point to me telling you that I have a gun, because that often leads to more investigation, and it is for me detrimental to the Fifth and the Fourth Amendment, because now you're opening yourself up for probable cause, and now you're opening yourself up for further investigation. So it's more of a I got the Fourth and the Fifth, and the only way I can protect the Fourth and the Fifth is if I apply the Fourth and the Fifth. So I would never do it. I'd like to believe that I would handle the situation about the same, but my last interaction with a cop that was kind of a dickhead is I just shut the fuck up. He fucking hated it. When
and where was this?
This is the last time I got the ticket. It's the ticket that I'm technically still fighting.
Okay.
From like 2 years ago. But this dude came in hot. You guys ought to pull up that video. He came in fucking hot. And he told me what I did wrong. I was like, okay. He's like, well, don't you think that's wrong? Okay.
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 You speak English? Okay.
Okay. Like, because anything I would have said would have just been an emotional response to him being a fucking cocksucker. Like he just needed a nap. And that's the other thing. As an old fucker, I've also understood that his wife's probably fucking someone else, and he probably just found out. His dog's probably sick, and he's fucking. He was white presenting Asian. So he probably mouth kisses his dog, and his dog probably got the flu, and so now he's fucking stressed out because of that or whatever, right? Like there's other reasons.
Yeah.
So I'd like to believe that it'd be like the Mexican Shane Gillis, but probably not.
You know, like it's kind of interesting watching that dude's reaction, because he clearly got under the skin of at least one of those agents, but he also managed to not get himself shot or hit in the face or any, like it's kind of hard to believe that he reacted the way he did and still walked out of there on 2 feet. You know, so I give him credit for that.
But it could have ended badly. Yeah.
I'm not saying he's right. I just
Correct.
like it's interesting to me, I guess. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say here, but
it's tough because 100%. I don't know if you're right or wrong.
Yeah,
because I don't know. I don't know if you can even measure that.
Yeah.
Because it's so subjective.
There was a video going around from a police chase in San Jose today. I guess some guy carjacked somebody or stole a car, and the cops confronted him, and shootout happens. And I don't think we can actually show the video on here because it's pretty graphic. But I'm watching the video. I'm kind of like, oh, that's interesting, And then out of the nowhere, this cop comes in, probably going like 40 miles an hour, and just runs the dude over. And my reaction was to laugh because I didn't expect that.
Was that nervousness?
It wasn't even nervousness. It was just like one of those like, damn,
Yeah.
And so my reactions to these things, it doesn't really mean anything, but one of my reactions is watching this dude talk shit, put his hands on federal officers, and not get shot in the face.
Correct.
Like, I don't know. I kind of respect that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Tanner says the cop is incompetent, but I'm not risking my life by not stating that I have a weapon. We'll figure it out in court down the road. And for me, that's the problem, is you're not going to figure it out in court down the road.
Mm-hmm.
Not in this particular case, because the cops did wrong, or the federal agents did wrong.
And nothing's going to happen.
And nothing's going to happen.
Yeah.
So from his perspective, is like, this is fucked. I got violated. Because
Mm-hmm.
he did get violated. He was minding his own business. He's a U.S. citizen. Motherfucker doesn't even speak Spanish. And it's one of those right place at the wrong time. And because you can't even say he was at the wrong place, because
Mm-hmm.
he wasn't doing anything wrong. And the evidence is that they let him go. They gave him his gun back. But nothing's going to happen. That's the problem with this particular circumstances, is that they took his gun, they violated him, they arrested him, they booked him for no fucking reason. And by the way, most likely that arrest is going to be on his record forever.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
and if he wants to get rid of it, it's coming out of his pocket.
He has to pay for it. So this idea of we'll figure it out in court, he doesn't get a court. Like, it's basically, this is a stain in your fucking record forever. And the cop, by the way, is probably gonna get a raise and promoted, and as gun people, this is an issue. Like, this is a big problem.
There's another issue too, which is kind of going back to what you said, not telling the cops. Another reason not to tell them, unless it's about to become very relevant, and even then, like, this guy handled it in his own certain way. It very often leads to unnecessary gun handling, which from a basic gun safety,
you've seen how the cop threw the fucking
that's
gun?
exactly the point. You hear, oh, he's got a gun, so now you have somebody who's emotionally elevated who's handling your firearm.
Didn't a lady cop shoot a dude?
Yeah. And she wasn't even emotionally elevated.
For the same reason, right?
So
that dude told him, I have a gun. If I'm not mistaken, that dude told him, hey, I have a gun. Here it is. Right. She unholstered it and then ended up shooting him with his own gun.
Yeah, and then left his gun laying in the road while they tried to figure out who was going to get in trouble for it. And the guy is like, I can't believe you shot me. But gun handling, unnecessary gun handling, increases risk. That is a simple fact. And if I don't need to tell them, but I do anyway, we're walking down the path towards unnecessary gun handling.
Yeah.
So gun websites. Are you at SHOT Show? I'm not sure. I've been watching your YouTube posts, but I couldn't tell if you were there or not. So
he owns SHOT Show.
Live during SHOT Show, where this is actually the part of SHOT Show where people are drinking at the Circle Bar.
We're at the Bellagio right now.
We're at the Bellagio, or they're rushing up to their hotel room so that they can do like the latest content before they go out to drink.
Oh, man,
pass germs around. So
and post the same post they did last year.
Yeah,
it's so crazy. It's so nuts.
Did we do SHOT Show once or twice?
Once. I want to say we did it twice, but I think we only did it once.
Yeah, it felt like twice.
It was enough. SHOT Show. I'm telling you, SHOT Show is the beginning of the same fucking shit it starts the cycle of repetitive bullshit in the gun industry. After this is NRA, and then after that is GOA, and then after that is there's one more big convention, and GunCon, and they're all the fucking same, and they all post the same fucking shit, and it's so boring, man. It's so boring. And every fucking year, I'm like, how come they didn't invite me?
The only thing that I enjoyed about SHOT Show was within 2 days getting to see people that I don't hardly ever get to see.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And I don't even know that many people. But even then, like, I'm running into people, I'm like saying hi, we're having meals together, and even then I find myself standing around thinking, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy. There is one thing that happened at SHOT Show, and it sucks that I couldn't be there because I'm dying and I'm broke as fuck. I don't know if I can find it. I'll try and post it up here. Let me see. I should be able to find it. And
I saw a post from Kyle Rittenhouse standing in front of a minigun saying, should I bring this to Minneapolis?
Jesus Christ, this fucking guy.
A lot of people's first impression of him was not that bright, and I think he just continues to
prove them right.
Prove them right.
It's so fucking bad.
Yeah.
It's kind of like George Zimmerman. At first everybody was like, oh, he did this thing, and then later people are like, I don't know if I agree with what he did, and then he started beating his wife, and then people are like, okay, this guy just is a piece of shit.
It's the thing is, like, if he's his own person, like, he shouldn't have to, I guess, he shouldn't have to be beholden to what everybody else thinks he is or thinks he should be. But at the same time, you do have a responsibility that if you're going to claim the mantle of a public figure, that you don't make things worse for the people you're claiming to be on the side for,
Correct.
And his public figureness is a self-defense shooting or a series of self-defense shootings. And so when we talk about justified self-defense and justified use of force against other people, and then everybody turns around and says, well, what about Kyle Rittenhouse? You're like, okay, well, I can ignore Kyle Rittenhouse, but a lot of people can't.
Cannot.
And yeah. So
anyways, I don't think I can find it. Maybe they changed their mind. They did post it. But at any rate, I won an award, so I can't say I can't that I'm.
You won an award?
That I'm not an award winner anymore. Yeah, I can't fucking find it anymore. If you guys go to Walk the Talk America, they awarded a few people with some awards. And this is their first year of giving prizes. I think it was me, Pivotal Defense, KD, and a few other people that won an ambassador award for them. So,
nice.
Yeah, I wish I could have been there to receive my actual fucking whatever they gave out.
Yeah. But of course, the first time somebody actually acknowledges you, you're like, yeah, I'm not there.
I'm not there. I can't be there.
Did you know ahead of time that they were going to do that?
Yeah. Okay. They told me last month.
Okay.
Last month. Yeah.
If you're not familiar, Walk the Talk America, very solid organization, advocating for responsible mental health resources and education for the gun community. So, Tanner says incompetence increases risk. Training increases competence and mitigates risk. Correct training, not qualify that. But yeah, generally speaking, if you are trying to manage risk, becoming more familiar with the risk itself and how to control it is going to mitigate it. So
if you use a timer, you're probably not. Yeah. You're probably.
Speaking of, since you brought it up, shoot, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it because it was.
Thanks, Jackie. I appreciate that. The only problem with winning is I can't say I don't win anymore.
Yeah, I know.
So that kind of kills one of my MOs.
Yeah. You just took away one of my self-pity arguments. Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Well, you look for that stuff. JJ Karzak, is that his thing? JJ Karzak, he's a competitive human.
I think he was on Top Shot at some point. He might
Yeah,
have been.
they were all on Top Shot. Like so many people are on Top Shot. They're just like, okay, like I don't. It's kind of like that really popular girl at school, and then later you find out why she was really popular, and then you're like, oh, well, everybody had a turn at that. But
like, oh, I thought I was special.
JJ posted a thing, and I was gonna show it again, but I think it's kind of getting repetitive. Where he was saying, and he does defensive training. He does defensive training.
He does defensive training videos for one of the self-defense legal representation companies.
Yeah, I don't know
which one,
but he was doing the VR thing, and they set him up, and this is what we mean by correct training. And this is the problem with competition people trying to teach defensive training the same way they teach competitive stuff. Like they're trying to overlap that stuff. So he's getting ready. JJ Rakaza. He's getting ready, and he says, "Hey, can I get some practice turns?" and I think that embodies why competitive is not the same as defensive,
because it's performance based.
It's performance based, and I've never seen anybody in a self-defense video get a practice turn. Like, hey, can I just get a quick little practice run really quick to see how everything's at? Like that's not the way it works. And good practice is or training in context is kind of where we need to be at.
Yeah. I'm not going to be able to find this clip right now. I've been looking for it, but if you're not familiar with Mike Glover, he's a YouTube personality. I try really hard not to use that influencer term. He's a YouTube personality, former Green Beret, started a company around preparation, and he's known. He's been kind of low profile lately because his ex-wife accused him of some stuff, so he kind of went quiet. And he is shooting with another group of YouTubers, and they're doing reload drills. And I don't know what I think the point of what they're doing and they're talking about is the idea that when that gun comes out and up, where do you focus your eyes, and when do you start putting stuff on the trigger or pressure on the trigger, etc. I think. But what happens is he gets into a reload, and as he reloads the gun, he closes the slide with the slide lock, and he does it before the magazine is inserted. And so he extends and pulls a trigger on a empty chamber, and does a tap rack, and does that pretty quickly. But he cheated the reload with riding his thumb on the slide lock, because he's trying to accomplish this goal or whatever in a set amount of time.
I have that video.
Oh, you've got that?
I don't know if I can find it. No, because there's another YouTube personality, and I think I can't remember their name, but I'll have to look through it. But it's like it's something silly, bubblegum operator or whatever. And a lot of people were giving him shit because he teaches against using the slide lock for a reload. And that was, if I'm not mistaken, that's exactly the video that he showed. Is he was that was exactly what he was trying to show. Is this is why I don't do it. This is why nobody should do it, because the slide rode forward before it was able to catch the next round. And yeah, he shot on an empty chamber.
And here's one of the elements that's added to this guy, former special forces, multiple deployments. So he's coming from a position of people giving him credibility because of his background, and probably more willing to ignore, specific training flaws because, well, if he does it, I should do it. Meanwhile, they're not even talking about the context here of this use of this skill.
Yeah.
So
there's a really good instructor. You and I got to meet him. He does more ass kicking instructing. Him and his wife, Amber and Ryan. If you guys get an opportunity, go check him out. Fit to Fight Republic. He has this the way he presents it is the sacred cow problem or theory or whatever, but is this idea of like it's the sacred cow, so we must not question it. The fucking cow said so we must accept it as fact. And there's a problem with that, and that's the problem. Your 13 deployments, as much as we can respect them and say, holy shit, I probably wouldn't have done that, the context is not the same as I just want to go get some cookies.
And I think a lot of people kind of know this, but at the same time, it's really easy to fall into that trap. You have to be on guard about this, and you have to train yourself to pay attention to these deficiencies, so that when you watch a video like this, you try to get as much input about it as you can. So when I'm trying to like pull this up. I'm looking and talking at the same time, but it's super easy. If you have a training mentor, it's really easy to just take what they say and be like, okay, well, my training mentor said it, so probably is true, instead of being critical of even somebody who you spent a lot of time with, know where they're coming from and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's a pretty normal human behavior, and that's why we have to be even more on guard about it. So, what's the word I'm looking for? Evolutionarily, it probably made sense in a lot of contexts. So,
correct.
Appeal to authority, appeal to tradition. Both of those, they're different, but they're coming from the same place.
I think there's that. Sacred cows aren't protected by evidence. And I think that's a big one. Is a lot of these humans, their concepts fall apart so fucking fast because of it, because we don't focus on, just look at what we can actually prove in an area where we don't want humans to be experts. Like, I could just prove how human hand picks shit up and how the human brain works and how guns work. Like, I can focus on that shit. Yeah, I know how a gun works. A slide lock is not meant to be used as a slide release. I guess there's a few guns where it is intended to be used as kind of both, but that's not its original thing. Like, it was never intended for that. So we shouldn't teach to use the gun in a way that it was not designed to be used. The other concepts, be fast or die, like it just doesn't work out.
Yeah. Well, these all contain elements of the truth. Like, we know that in a fight, if you are slower than the other guy, you are at a disadvantage, generally speaking. And so we take a partial nugget of truth and we say, well, speed is important, but then we run it into a bunch of misunderstandings of how that actually works, how the human brain works, how the human decision-making process works, coordination, all of that stuff. So, I didn't see what Jackie needed a mulligan for. So,
we were talking about the JJ thing.
okay.
Yeah. In a real fight, we don't get fuck, I fucked up. Let's fucking reset.
In a real fight, you don't get practice runs, right?
You get practice runs.
Yeah. So let's talk about some feedback.
Oh yeah, I got to remember what time.
My feedback's probably not quite as interesting as it sounds like maybe yours is. So maybe I should go first.
Oh no, mine's not feedback. It's feedback for myself. I'm going to use this clip to tell the students from last Sunday's class to watch this video at about 50-ish minutes is what I'm seeing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
So during the feedback session, one of the people in the class said he expected that I would spend some time presenting the NRA basic firearm safety rules, even if it's just as a jumping off point for explaining how the rules have improved. Which I think fundamentally, the idea of communicating that the rules have improved is important. And I don't really spend a lot of time talking about how they've improved. I talk about how rules can be deficient if they're presented incorrectly, or if they're formulated incorrectly. But I don't talk about Jeff Cooper. I don't know. Spinal 9281, you missed the discussion about Shane Gillis getting arrested. So
yelling at you, dude. That one's from yours. Yeah, that's from your channel.
Oh, really?
Fucking yelling at you.
Yelling. What kind of title is that? I really like the enthusiasm there.
We'll go with that. It's enthusiastic.
Enthusiasm.
It's enthusiastic.
So I don't spend a lot of time talking about improvement of the rules. And I do think that could have been valuable. I think you spend more time talking about how a lot of people don't know the history behind it, so they don't understand where it even came from. And then they get married to the idea as presented to them instead of thinking about there being a better way of understanding it. So
correct.
That's one part of the feedback, is how much time should we spend talking about the way it was and why and how it improved, when what you're doing in some ways, what you're doing there is reinforcing the wrong information.
Yeah.
And that's the trap, right?
I struggle with that.
Yeah. Because you spend time talking about, if you use the words always, never, and then explain, the trap you run is that's what they'll remember.
Correct.
And
I struggle with this a lot. Because I still there's classes where I still talk about the rules, and I do it in a way where it's like the only reason I'm even bringing them up is because you're going to hear them, and I want you to understand when you hear them that you should probably question them and how they suck. Always point the firearm in a safe direction. There's reasons why you can't do that, and it can't be looked at as always point the firearm in a safe direction. Right now, gun websites is at SHOT Show, and I've already seen so many fucking videos from SHOT Show of people having guns just look at me, take a video of me. Like, obviously the whole industry is accepting that you don't always point the firearm in a safe direction.
Yeah.
Or else you wouldn't be doing that at SHOT Show.
Yeah.
Obviously
we could call SHOT Show Mecca. We could call SHOT Show the holy land of the firearm industry.
Yes.
And in the Holy Land, the rules do not apply.
Do not apply. Obviously, they're not treating every firearm as if it were loaded. These are real guns. These are not dummy guns. These are not inert guns. These are actual, real fucking guns. Sure, they have a little zip tie on them and whatever, but it wouldn't take much for somebody to make that gun work and go off. It wouldn't take a ton.
Yeah, and again, it's like if we can just point to one example where the rule doesn't make a lot of sense, not saying SHOT Show, but if we're talking about, using the gun in self-defense, we need to be open to the idea that the way that the rule is presented is not sufficient. It's not a good way of looking at the rule. On top of that, pointing out that even the people who preach this as gospel don't even really believe it. If you put them in the right or wrong scenario. So he'll get off with mental health. Shane is nearly autistic after all.
I love that these are all coming from your side.
Yeah.
Um,
That comment wins the internet for tonight, or at least for this podcast.
and I love that they're coming in after we had the Shane Gillis
Yeah.
conversation, so they have zero context on what it is, and I'm here for it.
They're just like, "Oh, he got arrested? Oh, he'll get off."
He'll get
I
off.
don't know what he did, but he'll get off.
So,
So that was part of it. Was
yeah.
and I didn't do. I know that I didn't do a good job of answering his question or his feedback in the class, but I did tell him that we would talk about it on the podcast after I've had time to think about it, and get a chance to kind of communicate it. So I did mention the problem of over teaching. And
Yeah.
presenting wrong information and then just juxtaposing it with right information, you do run the risk of over teaching or misteaching a concept.
Correct.
And the other thing he said was he pointed to a specific rule around the idea of know your target and what is beyond. Thanks, Alfred, for admitting it for us.
Yeah.
Zero context.
And I love it. Fucking love it.
He's probably right. Like I think in the world of probabilities, he's probably right, even with zero context. Shane would be not competent to stand trial. So the idea that we need to reinforce the rule or the concept of that where that bullet is going. That falls under the big picture rule. Keep in mind that you're in control of a firearm and that it can cause death or serious injury if used negligently or maliciously. But it doesn't explicitly spell out that bullets can travel a really long ways, or bullets can be unpredictable. And it's kind of funny because at the range, at the range that we use for the classes, Pikes Peak Gun Club, I see people on the rifle range with their targets close to them on tall stands, and they're sitting at a bench aiming. And so what is that going to do? That is going to change your angle of fire.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't sat in that position, so I don't know, but I think I've experienced that. We're changing the angle of fire unbeknownst, like I wasn't paying attention, that has the potential to send a bullet over the safe backstop. So
I love how you get so much fucking spam.
This
you
is
get
why
all the spam.
Yeah. What is this even about? I don't
we should post it up there. 2025 was a jobs disaster. Layoff surge to the highest level in 5 years.
While this is anti-Trump. That's what this is.
Is it?
Well, it's 2025 talking about how jobs numbers are in the
horrible.
Toilet. So
nice.
But with a little smiley face or a sad face on it.
Sad face.
So speaking specifically about that.
Oh yeah, you were right.
You're
right.
There we go.
There we go.
I know a January 6er countertop guy. Knowing that, like, what do you think your approach to that feedback would be about specifically calling out that scenario?
About the
knowing your target and what is beyond, and that not being covered in the initial 3 rules that we talk about the direction you point the gun, the finger off the trigger, and then the big picture rule.
So the problem with this idea is, for that in particular, for his whole thing, he wanted to have a conversation about you should know where the bullet goes.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, I don't know where the bullet's going to go. Like if we really dissect, like you get scientific about it, I don't know.
Yeah.
So I have a general idea and an understanding, but I may hit fucking the edge of the car, and that's going to shift the trajectory of the bullet.
So when you say something like know your target and what is beyond, what you're saying here is that you don't really know what's beyond your target.
I don't know what's beyond my target.
It really could be in a 360 degree environment. It could be anywhere.
It could be anywhere. I mean, I without fucking getting too conspiracy theory and shit like that and trying to avoid it, but I know it's a hot conversation amongst the weirdos with the conspiracy theories.
Candace Owens.
Yeah. The JFK situation is a very plausible way that a bullet can travel. That like the governor, it was the governor, right? The governor of Texas, who's sitting in front of JFK, was not intended to be shot, and he still got shot. It was a really weird way that the bullet traveled. But you've shot pork butts and seen how the bullet shifts. It wasn't as crazy as that because it was a handgun caliber. So this idea of I know what's beyond my target, I don't know. Also, if this is Walmart, I'm going to have shelves behind my target. I don't know what's beyond my target. It's not going to stop me from shooting the motherfucker because the risk of not shooting the bad guy is good people die, and that's too big of a risk.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to accept it as I'm going to shoot the fucker, and there's a small fucking chance that I hit somebody who's innocent because of the way it hit the can of soup, and it fucking shifted, and it might happen. But the alternative is I do nothing because I don't know what's beyond the can of soup. I do absolutely nothing, and more people die. For sure.
Yeah, we could say that if you're standing directly behind somebody who's getting shot at, there's a pretty high risk that you're going to get hit. But there is also a risk even if you're standing adjacent to that person. So the person who's doing the shooting needs to understand that once that bullet leaves the barrel, you lose control of what happens next. Correct. And so I think, and what I said in the class is, big picture rule dictates that you be careful about how you use your gun, and the risks you take with that firearm. I didn't use those exact words, but that's what I said. Yeah. And but I left the class thinking like, well, I did a really shitty job of answering that feedback.
Yeah.
So I'm glad he brought it up because I think one of the biggest downsides of not hearing difficult feedback is you get comfortable in thinking that you don't have any more to learn. And even though I understand this concept, like struggling to present that concept to people in a way that makes sense is a deficiency. So
now you got to send your entire class this video, and you're like, hopefully this was a little bit better.
Yeah. Well, I did tell him, I said, we do the podcast, and he goes, yeah, I'm a listener. And whenever anybody tells me that, I'm always like, what's the last stupid thing I said?
That is my first thought. We just recently I was recently trying to get some lady from Yale to be on the podcast, and as soon as she asked us for links and I was like,
some clips,
some clips, I was like,
you're like, just Google it.
Just fucking Google.
You'll find it.
Every time I'm like,
yeah,
I want people to watch, but I don't want to know you.
Which reminds me of that video I made a long time ago of the Ladysmith.
The Ladysmith. When
doing
you saw
some very questionable things on camera, and I went on to sell that gun, and the people who bought it from me said, "Hey, I saw your video." I was literally speechless.
I so wish we can go back to that Guns for Everyone. I really do. I genuinely wish we can go back to that Guns for Everyone.
Oh man, I took some chances.
Yeah, fucking.
So that was some of the feedback I got. What was your thing that you were going to?
Mine was not feedback. Mine was. It's not really an apology, because there's nothing to apologize for. But I think I did a shitty job in the moment. Explaining why I said certain shit. I found myself a couple times in Sunday's class, more than usual, explaining to humans that this is my 3,940 whatever fucking class. Like, this isn't my first fucking class. And there was a few times, and after leaving, like I thought about it, I was like, fuck, it sounded more like I know stuff and you don't know shit. Shut the fuck up. And it wasn't that. So there was one circumstance where I fucking drives me nuts. Absolutely fucking drives me crazy. The very first exercise, extend touch press, almost never fails. But my gun's not loaded. Like, yeah, I fucking know that. Like I fucking know that. Do you think I'm fucking stupid? Like I know that. They don't know that, right? This is their first class and shit like that. But this is my 3,400 whatever. Like, I know this shit. Like, I know your gun's not loaded. Like, well, when should I chamber? I was like, I've already told you. I will explain it to you when you should do that shit. Like, just pay attention to. People get so anxious about like, what's next?
Yeah.
What's next? Like, just stick right now. So there's that. And then there was one time in particular we were doing lateral motion. So I was explaining the lateral motion. And here I am doing the stuff, and I see people talking. People forget that we have eyes and we can fucking hear. I think people think once they're up there, they can't see us at all. Like we're invisible. So I see people talking, and I already know what the fuck they're talking about. I was all like, hey, don't do that. They're like, no, I was just explaining to him that we should move in this direction together. So like, nope, I don't want you to do that. So I shifted them. It's like, you guys are not going to stand next to each other anymore. And no, by the way, shut the fuck up. Quit trying to choreograph what the fuck this is. And I asked the student, I asked him, I was like, how many classes have you taught? He's like, oh, I've never taught a class. I was like, okay, how about you quit trying to instruct and let me instruct and let me worry about the stuff and the things. I haven't even told you the whole exercise yet. And you're already trying to decide how my exercise is going to go. And there is a truth to that, right? There is this truth of you as the student don't know what I'm going to teach, but yet you're trying to anticipate what I'm going to teach. So you're trying to teach. At the end of this class, I think it was that same group of humans that I had already told, hey, quit trying to instruct. You're not the instructor. Don't do this. I think it was the same group. They said, "Oh yeah, we were reading through the questions, and we were talking about the skills, and amongst ourselves, we talked about why you did stuff." I was like, "Oh, I'm interested in knowing in knowing why you thought we did a certain exercise, and you never brought it up. Like, I'm genuinely interested in what you think my why is." I was like, because this is the only thing my wife does is she tells me how I feel and what I like and don't like and all that. She was like, this is sounding eerily familiar. And
as soon as you bring it up, she's like, oh yeah, it was the same group.
It was the same group, yeah. So it was another one of these, like, how come you didn't bring it up? Like, how are you going to tell me or tell each other what you thought the purpose of the exercise was? You're not the instructor. And it is true, right? You're not the instructor. But what I should have said, and the way it could have been communicated better, was you have a responsibility to question the curriculum, and you're not questioning the fucking curriculum. What you're doing is you're pretending you know what the curriculum is, and you're trying to implement your own curriculum without questioning the fucking curriculum.
Yeah.
Because that would have been more beneficial, right?
Well, I mean, think about it too. Like if you think it's that valuable that you're taking the time to talk to somebody about it, why aren't you sharing that with everybody?
Correct. So I think it was that. It was more the. I'm not wrong. You're a student. We're the instructors. We know certain shit that you don't know, and we know reasons why. Doesn't mean you shouldn't question it. And it came off more like that.
Yeah.
Don't question it.
And it wouldn't be hard for it to come off like that, especially when it's a difficult concept for people to understand the difference between challenging a material and then like what you're saying, veering from the material.
Correct.
So
yeah, and it would have been a better conversation. I'd been like, hey, what about lateral motion and why are we doing this? And like that,
or even just say, are we all supposed to move the same way so we don't run into each other?
Yeah, and then that was like, that's fucking dumb. I've never seen anybody hockey check people like in classes, but they don't know that, right?
Yeah.
Like, but it does allow for that
No,
conversation.
I did.
Which by the way, I talk about it all the time because I talk about my limits on body positioning. Like if my elbows to a certain part of the body, then everything's okay. But if it crosses that threshold, nobody shoot, or you don't shoot, and just wait there, reset, whatever. So there is some safety conversation that I go over, which I end up talking about that anyways. Like I've never, you hockey check somebody?
No, I've seen it.
Oh, I've never seen people
that's
hockey check each other
this is why I
like on purpose.
not on
fucking
purpose. No, not on purpose. But also at the same time, knowing that it's going to happen and letting it happen. So when we were in Reno, this is why I spoke up. Because you know, well, this was instructor development course, so we've got people on the shooting line who, you know, should know something about shooting, you know, and handling a gun safely. And they were doing the lateral motion, and I don't know if you remember that guy, that younger guy who was from Reno. Every time it was time to move, this guy was like tweaking out and like moving really aggressively, and ran into one of the other guys and basically just kept pushing on him while he was shooting. It was like enthusiastic contact. And this is why I started to speak up. I was going to tell him, like, it's one thing to touch somebody, it's another thing to push against them while you're shooting, you know. But before I could even get that out, Alejandro came up to me and told me, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. You haven't put in the work. Fuck out of here.
And like, to me, I've seen people lose control of
I've
their
never
body.
seen students do that.
Okay, there you go.
I've never seen students do that.
But I have seen people lose control of their body in space during this drill. People moving forward, people moving backward, because they're so mentally stimulated by the idea of moving into a shooting position rather than standing still.
This is why we usually split them up about that time.
Yeah.
Like if it's appropriate, we'll split them up. If I only have 5, no need to split you up.
Yeah. But until it becomes a, you know, a safety issue, I'm not going to talk about it, because again, that goes back to, like, I don't want to plant ideas in your head that don't need to be there. So I'm going to tell you to move laterally because I want you to move laterally. I'm not going to talk about moving forward and backward. I'm just going to say we're moving left and right and nowhere else.
Correct.
And if it becomes a safety issue, then it will get addressed appropriately, either, you know, telling the person or separating them or splitting the group or whatever we need to do. But so I understand the idea of coming from the students of what if we run into each other, or what if we get close to each other. But your point being, bring it up. Don't start instructing other people about what to do around it.
So again, I don't think in the moment I said anything incorrect, but I think I could have presented a little bit better. And because the idea isn't the instructor knows everything, shut up, you can't say anything, because that's the wrong attitude. That's the wrong attitude. The attitude should always be, yes, I am the instructor. I've done this a fuck ton more times than you have. I know the concepts, I know the principles, but you should still challenge it if you don't know what the fuck's going on. Disagreement, understanding physical limitations, that it should still be brought up. Like that conversation should still be had, because a lot of it is just perception, right? And that did come up at the end of the class. One dude's like, well, it should have been this because during the movement I thought it was a little unsafe, and I stopped and I was like, what part was unsafe? It's like, oh no, like it could have been, until like you just went from it was unsafe to it could have been unsafe. And oh, by the way, almost instantly, one of the other homies was like, well, I didn't think so. You bumped into me, because that's what he was talking about. We bumped, and I felt it could have been unsafe. And then the person he bumped into, she was like, I didn't think there was anything wrong with that shit. That's There's nothing wrong with that shit in any way, shape, or form. So that's that perception that we still have to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But you should not start your own class because of it.
Yeah.
So it's that balance.
And I see this kind of behavior actually happening more often when you have a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend show up, because they think
I
that
split those motherfuckers.
Yeah, they think that their spouse or their partner or whatever they want to say is mentally retarded and can't listen and do anything on their own. They need that person's help. But you also see it with people just in general, people who know each other, because there's that. I think there's more free communication going back and forth. So any old idea that pops up in their head, they can say it to that person because they're comfortable with them, instead of standing with a bunch of strangers and just turning to somebody and saying, "Hey, we're going to both move the same direction." Like that. That seems less likely if you don't know the people.
Sometimes what I do is I see which direction they move in, and then I'll go stand in that direction.
So they have to go the other way.
So they have to go the other, but I'll only do it with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because hopefully the other person's not paying attention. And then now that person is like, either I don't move and don't do the exercise correctly, or I move in the direction I didn't want to move.
Yeah.
And that's usually what happens.
Yeah.
It's interesting. But yeah, that was it wasn't a feedback. It was more like, I probably should have expressed this a little bit better. Because it definitely came off more authoritarian.
Yeah.
And
I want anybody listening at this point. I've said this before, but if you're listening, I want you to understand that every single time I drive home from a class, I am thinking strictly about the shit that I did wrong and physically feeling pain from it. So, like, I will be driving and it will pop into my head something I did wrong, and I will just physically just start yelling. Ah!
This is why we have to keep away the razor blades from Isaac. I check his legs every week.
So Edgar is probably waiting after every class for me to call him and tell him I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm too stupid. I'm too irresponsible. And the thing is, it's like almost always it's things that nobody else would even have known about, like it would have gone right past them. They didn't hear me. They didn't, something like that. But when people give me feedback and then I can resolve that problem in the class, like where we can talk about it, you're actually probably saving me quite a bit of psychological burden.
Well, this is the whole purpose behind the feedback, right? Like, let's figure it out. Let's not just leave here pissed off or whatever. We may still be pissed off, but like let's figure this shit out.
Yeah.
Let's and sometimes it's a communication issue. In the same Sunday class, I was telling people to spread out, because I don't know if this has happened to you, but it happens way too much. But it happened for sure this Sunday, where I split people up and I told them, just find a different target, spread out a little bit more. We split up for a fucking reason, spread out a little bit, and they just fucking wouldn't. Like, but this is my target. Like, just go somewhere else, just spread out. And I had one, he was like, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know how else to say spread out.
You tell them fucking spread out.
Like, I don't know. So there was
add one more word.
There was that aggravation where he's like, I don't know what you mean by that. And I was
Yeah.
like, and for me, I was like, I don't like, how else do you say spread out? Like, it just, I'm asking white people, like, how the fuck else do you say spread the fuck out?
Well, when I tell them to do that, I tell them everybody find a new target.
Oh, I said that.
Yeah.
I said, go somewhere else. It doesn't have to be your target.
Yeah.
And they were still like, me no speaky.
Yeah. I haven't had any problems with that. The other day, though, when I was teaching, we had gotten to assessment, and I had spoken about something that everybody was doing wrong, And I said, we need to fix that, and how we're going to fix it and everything. And then I called the up command, and not a single person on the entire shooting line actually moved as they presented. And so I have to think of, like, did I mess up? Like that one, I'm like, no, I didn't mess up on that one. Everybody else messed up on that one.
No, it's for me, I always use it as a teaching moment. It was like, this is why you don't use your slide lock as a slide release.
Mm-hmm.
Because your brain, as it's chambering around, it grabs up top, or it's clearing a malfunction, or something's wrong with your gun, you tend to grab the slide and rack back. And like the lateral motion in the concealed carry classes has, for me, been a good teaching moment for see what your brain does when it's overloaded with complex. It's simple. Take a fucking step. But in the moment, it seems so fucking complex to just take a step to the side. Now you think you're gonna fucking turn on your red dot and then fucking do your take off the safety and chamber around and fucking all that weird shit. Like, this is a perfect example on how limited on resources your brain really is. Like, it's very little resources, especially in very simple oh shit moments.
It goes back to what we were talking about last podcast about how people, they understand how braking works and that locking up your tires is a bad thing to do and everything, but we still had to come up with anti-lock brakes because even if you know that you're not supposed to do that, you're still going to do it.
Yeah, your
even
body
if you
will
know you're
still
not
do it.
supposed to lock the brakes up, because the body is so limited in its ability to make cognitive decisions in that
Correct.
moment. It reverts back to the one or two things that it thinks will work, and then it does them as hard as it can.
Correct.
And so, and it's a simple motion. It's a gross motor movement, right? Moving your leg. There's no fine motor skills really going on there.
I love the ones that lean.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I'm moving. Like, no, motherfucker, you're fucking leaning.
Oh yeah, the lean. Yeah, the lean is
Just
funny. I've seen some people really lean, like, are you going to fall over lean? So, so Mark Remmers is watching from the beginning and says even off-duty black cops get asked for their immigration papers in Minnesota. That very well could be true. I do want to point out, though, not to get overly political here, but everybody is being sold a message right now. And all you need is one example. The human brain, all you need is one example to affirm your belief or your bias in that messaging for you to accept that as fact or as the truth. And so this is something that's bothering me. And it kind of, we've talked about this before about a single example proving a point. We got to be really careful about that in the self-defense context. And you have to be careful about that in general in life. I saw a video of it said people in Greenland or Greenlanders are mocking Americans with fentanyl overdoses, and it showed some videos of people doing like the fentanyl lean, but it was two people. It was two people who did a TikTok video, and it's like Greenlanders are making fun of Americans. It's like, okay, there's two of them. And maybe all Greenlanders feel this way, but how does two people doing that prove any kind of a point about how things are working or how people are feeling in Greenland? So
this is a big problem in the training community, because instructors that are trying to push their bias will only, again, it's Elijah Dickin. The whole story was a sham. It was all bullshit that he never shared. But that's the way people presented it. But even if it were real, even if it were true, it was one out of millions of other examples that did not happen that way. There's plenty of evidence to show you that the way, even if it were real, the Elijah Dickens situation. For that one, there was probably 100 others that tried doing it that way, and it did not fucking work.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because it was unsuccessful, they don't. The anomaly is fucking weird.
Yeah, I actually saw a video yesterday or today of a guy named, I think his name is Matt Pranka, and he's a very well accomplished competition shooter, and he's an instructor.
Fuck is a moat? I'm trying to figure out what a moat is.
I bet it was all the footwork, or maybe
is that what?
she's saying that like once that person established their space, like it's theirs and nobody can invade it.
I don't know what the fuck my
Yeah,
wife is
I
talking
want to know
about.
what moat builder.
I do know who if that's what that means. There was one, fucking love it, that they dig in, they start fucking shuffling their feet, and they clear the area.
Yeah.
And there was definitely one that was just fucking clearing their area and fucking establishing their footing. And guess what I do?
Tripped him? No.
No, yeah, fucking you bitch. No, I go over and fucking push everything back into his fucking feet. Fuck you talking about? You better trip on that casing.
So anyway, this guy, I've seen him, Matt Prank. I've seen him talk about other things. I've seen him live streaming drunk, and my impression of this dude is that he is like buried in competition shooting. He's kind of a prick, and he smells his own farts. But in this video he was doing, he was nailing this concept of probability about how guys will take their own example from their life. You know, police officers, they had one officer involved shooting, and they think that generates the rule of how you approach this problem or what works and what doesn't work in these scenarios. And he's like, and nobody wants to talk about the 1,000 times it didn't work.
Correct.
And actually, in the 15-minute video, I was like, yeah, I didn't disagree with anything this guy said through this whole video, even though I've never heard him say anything else that I ever agreed with. So, what was I saying? Now I lost my train of thought. Black cops get asked for their immigration papers in Minnesota, and if that's true, that's messed up. Absolutely. I don't know if it's true. I don't know how true it is. And
no, should survey. How many off-duty black cops do you know in Minnesota?
Black cops in Minnesota. How many is 1 out of 2? That's 50%.
It's 50%. Yeah, and that's the other thing with some of these stats. The way it gets presented is I've never been a fan of per capita. Because that's very skewy, or even percentages in some certain circumstances. Because again, you just highlighted a big fucking problem. 50% of 2 is like that's not much. That's only 1.
Yeah.
Obviously,
so when I lived in New Hampshire, every single Asian kid at my high school
was Asian.
Was smart.
All of them.
Really
one
smart.
of them.
Yeah.
All one of them.
All one of them.
All one of them.
100% of the Asian kids were the top of the class.
There was one.
Because there was one. We had 0 Mexicans in that town.
Yeah.
1 Asian kid.
0 Mexicans committed crime at your school.
That's right. We didn't have a problem with brown people at our school
committing crimes.
Committing crimes or any problems. We had no problem.
None.
You hear this a lot when people want to bury a statistic. They'll tell you the rate of increase or the percentage increase, but they won't tell you what the numbers are that they're working with.
Yeah.
So I just saw this video where it's talking about a study that was done to show that Colorado drivers committed like 7,000 traffic violations in 30 minutes. And if you actually read it, it's a little bit more nuanced than that. And the point they're trying to prove is that how dangerous of drivers we all are. And that's why we need automated AI camera enforcement of our traffic laws. It's like, well, somebody's trying to sell you something, so they're just going to throw numbers at you to make you feel afraid. And then here comes the sales pitch. I think the hard thing about this is it's really hard to actually know what you're talking about. and you want to have an opinion. I think you want to be right in your opinion. So you fill in these knowledge gaps with, what makes sense to you, and then you form this like diehard opinion about it. And like, you should just be comfortable with saying, I don't know, like, get comfortable with not knowing the answer to things. I have to do that. Like, I try to be careful about how I present some of the data around the self-defense stuff, because I have to say, like, this is an interpretation of this. This is the best I can do with this. If somebody can come along and make better sense of this information, I will definitely listen to them. But we have to understand the limits of that stuff. So
Correct.
You're accepting a world in which the majority of your species trades the majority of its time and energy to barely meet its base needs on average. Yes. I guess. I don't know. Every species does that. Humans are not special. In fact, that's how all of the universe works, in fact. So maybe you can expound on what you meant by that, because I'm not sure what the point of that was. But
or how it relates to training.
Yeah, you worship fear, force, fire, combustion. Oh, okay, we have a crazy person here. I should have kept reading. This is either spam or this person is out of their mind.
They got the shrooms?
No, I don't.
My Mexican brain is still trying to figure out the fuck it all means.
Yeah. Them from this.
I think this is a racist comment.
Yeah. Well, I like this. You are special, you broken meat puppets of manufactured to scarcity. Dude, if you could put that on a bumper sticker, I would put that on my car.
That's the next shirt.
No, he's not spam. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. The universe consumes resources and at the limits of its ability to use those resources. So if I'm out of my mind, let's play. I don't think so. I'm not gonna get drawn into this nonsense unless you can make it about self-defense or guns. I don't know where we're supposed to be going with this. Did you announce the winner of the Staccato?
Yes. I announced it fucking almost 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm. You did a video about that and something else at the same time.
Correct. Yeah, that was announced.
Okay.
That was
so if you didn't win, it wasn't you.
Yeah. So one other thing that we were going to talk about, unless there was more that we needed to talk about.
No, I think we should just talk about what Jay wants to talk about.
Jay can continue commenting, because obviously this helps the algorithm.
Yeah, keep going.
This is what I love about these people is you are only helping me.
Yeah,
like you're only helping my situation. Like, I don't even know if I agree or disagree with it.
Yeah.
Like, I have zero fucking emotional investment in whatever Jay is saying.
Yeah.
I just know that the more you keep commenting, the more the algorithm loves it. So
yeah.
Let's
So Joseph has a question. What distances do students shoot at in the classes?
Yes. This is what I say all the time. Yes.
So
and the reason I can't give you a real answer about the distances is because it depends. We fall under the plausibility principle, and also with the plausibility principle, we have to understand the skill development cycle. So the skill development cycle at its core is what do I suck at? What am I good enough at? And how do I get better? That's a very crudish way of explaining it, but I first train, I learn a new skill. And when I'm good enough at that skill, I move on to a different skill, or I change the context of that skill. And then evaluate is that. Am I good enough at it? Do I need to keep developing it? Practicing is the development. I'm going to hone the shit down. The problem with it is if I start off an entire class at the statistically most probable distance, which is 9 to 15 feet, according to the Tom Givens data, but collectively the entire class is fucking kicking ass and doing awesome and advancing, and then I'm not going to spend that much more time at that distance. I might challenge them and change the distances a little bit, just so that we can find their breaking point, I guess. Like, let's find their limits. So I might take them to the edge of 15 yards, or 9 to 15 feet. I'm sorry, 15 feet. There's some classes where, fuck, you guys are fucking hitting everything. This is not challenging for you. Because one of my jobs as an instructor is provide you with the opportunity to become better. If we're just sitting there and like, oh, you guys are good, let's just keep doing this because you guys are good, then we're not learning anything. So this is the real problem with saying at what distance we're going to be. But we start off generally about 9 to 15 feet. Some classes I start off at 15 feet, a lot of classes at 9, some at 12, but in that area. And the reason why is because the Tom Givens data kind of explains why 9 to 15 feet is the most likeliest. So it's that data set is flawed, but it's probably the best data set that we have available to us for civilians.
So let's talk about that data set for just a minute, because Active Self-Protection did a video recently about challenging the concept of 3 shots, 3 yards, 3 seconds, and which is a nonsense standard, and it should be challenged and it should be interrogated. But John Correa's point around this was that, he's analyzed thousands and thousands of videos, and for the purpose of this video, he just went back 1 year to evaluate videos and judging distances in the videos. Well, video perspective is flawed. So you can take things like, what is the typical size of an object in the video, and then try to scale from there what we think the distance might be, but it's still flawed.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to know, and maybe you know the answer, maybe you don't. How did Tom record, like find and record the data for the distances in his shootings? It's probably a whole bunch of different methods, right? It's not just one method he's used, but do you know where he got his data on the typical distances?
Yeah, so you guys can find this PDN Tom Givens.
Joseph says, keep it going, Jay. Either Jay can type really fast, or this is like the most ridiculous cut and paste I've ever seen.
Oh no, you could get pretty good at cut and paste. So if you guys just look up, go Google and Google PDN Tom Givens, you will find at some point lessons from the street, and that's really where you want to be at. Lessons from the street. He talks about all this stuff. Primarily, though. Oh, that was awesome. My computer is about to take a fucking shit, and at any moment I'm not gonna have a computer anymore, and I'm too fucking poor. Put that in your little manifesto, Jay. Edgar is too poor to buy a new computer. They keep shutting off on me like this, and it fucking sucks. But anyways,
which vibration do you got to get on to get a new computer?
I don't know, the 17th ratio of the 9th dimension, I think. But lessons from the street, we'll talk about that. The base of his evidence is his own students.
Mm-hmm.
His own students. So this guy was a cop in Memphis, Tennessee, really back when this was becoming a thing. This idea of concealed carry and all that stuff. And so him being the cop, he had access to the reports, whatever crude CCTV we had back then, because this went on for several years. It's not like it was just in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Well, he started collecting this data in the late 90s, right?
Well, he started putting it together, if I'm not mistaken, in around that time. This is when
963 hertz. That's the new computer vibrational frequency.
So he started to collect this data because obviously as Valago, he runs an organization. It's called Range Master. I don't think he's instructing as much anymore, but it was all his students. A big bulk of this was his own students, and the actual data. He was actually one of the very first cops that came out and said the statistics that we're using for civilians should not be the same ones that we use for cops.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same shit. Military and police statistics mean absolutely nothing for civilians. You can't. It's a completely different animal, completely different mindset, all of that. So you can't do that. So no, Tom did not get it from a detective, case files. Yeah, he did because he had access to them. So yeah, you're not wrong there.
Say the data, of course, can be flawed in its own way, but he probably got the best available data that you can get, a combination of all available data sources.
Yeah.
So,
and these are all his students.
Yeah.
It wasn't third party, any of that stuff. It was for sure his own students.
Yeah. So what was you were going to bring up another topic before we got before Joseph just so casually derailed us with his question.
King Joseph.
I'm kidding, Joseph.
Your good questions. How dare you? The other one was, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to find it, but I think this is of interest for gun people in the state of Colorado. And this is, I think, the 9th of, I'm going to try and find it here. Here I found it. The 9th. Oh, there we go. We have stakeholder meetings. So upcoming public and stakeholder meetings. CPW is in a position where if you're in the state of Colorado, you will have to go through a class, either 8 hours or 12 hours, depending on where you're at. Not geographically, but in your training development. They have to implement a program for instructors to follow so that you can purchase semi-automatic firearms in the state of Colorado. And CPW from the beginning has said that they want absolutely nothing to do with this, and this was forced on them. And they've said countless of times, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. We don't know what the fuck we're doing. We need help. How the fuck are we going to implement this? So I think from the CPW's perspective, it's definitely been, we want nothing to do with this. We're forced to do this. I do believe that they have no fucking clue, and not in a bad way, and they're just trying to figure out, and they wish that they wouldn't be involved with this. But if you guys are in the state of Colorado and you guys want to participate in this stuff, I know it says one's for firearms dealers and the other one's for firearms instructors. I'm going to say you fucking make shit up and show up to this meeting so you can understand this a little bit more. I'm going to post it on the comments so you guys can go check it out, go sign up, register if you know an instructor, if you know an FFL, all that shit. They should be involved with all of this.
And this is Monday evening, February 9th, right? I think that's I think it starts at 6 or 6:30 or something.
Yeah, like that, Monday, so. February 9th is, and then there's 2 on that same day, and then 1 in person is the 19th.
Yeah.
The 19th.
Yeah, this is going to be a huge mess. The changes to the concealed carry training law were nothing compared to the system that they're trying to implement here. And that implementation, I would say, did not go smoothly for the concealed carry training laws. This is going to be a whole lot worse. So, especially if you're dealing with CPW that doesn't even want to participate in this.
Correct. Yeah, CPW on other topics in the state of Colorado. I think they're on their like 19th fucking director. I'm slightly exaggerating, but I don't think I'm exaggerating by much. So I think Jay needs to go on my personal one and talk science there if he really wants to talk science there.
Also, the donate link is gunsforeveryone.com/
oh yeah, if you're worried about scarcity.
Yeah.
Or
if you want to pass on some vibrational things that will make a difference, some frequency. How about some shekels?
GFEnational.com. Send us some shekels. It's always weird when the people who preach the it sucks that humans don't have enough money to make it.
Money.
You almost often find out that they're trust fund babies, and then they don't share the money. It's just like that's fucking weird.
Speaking of money, yeah, we're here for donations. We're here like donate now, donate in a class, donate in the middle of the night. If you're getting value out of the conversations that we have, or the training that we offer, or even if you get value out of the fact that we are having an impact in the gun community in Colorado, return that value back one way or another. Hopefully in a tangible way, not like word salad, but an actual way that we can convert into food, insurance payments, all that stuff. Buildings. But this guy, he might even be listening, so I feel bad for what I'm about to say, but I have to say it. If you're going to donate. Don't hold a donation hostage for me to have to call you.
Oh, that was hilarious. That was funny. Like, if you call me, I've got a few bucks.
Call me. I've got money for you, and I want to talk. Like, look, if you want to talk, let's talk. If you want to donate. But let's not put these two things together into like a hostage situation. So
I had one. He said, like, he was a real estate agent. He says, "I'll tell you what. You promote my business, and if a sale happens, and if they mention you, I will donate a portion of that." I was like, "Well, no, I'm not going to work off of commission for you. Like, that's not."
Like, all of a sudden, I got to sell real estate.
I have to sell real estate.
And if the intent was to donate and you kind of just like did it wrong, like, I appreciate that. But if just ask yourself the question: are you trying to get me to call you, and like, are you incentivizing this phone call, or what? Yeah. So
that's hilarious.
And again, I can feel my face getting hot right now for even saying this, but
did you call him?
No, I didn't call him.
No? What the fuck's wrong with you?
Because I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go chase down a donation like that. Like, I can't do that.
Yeah. It does happen a lot more than you think. I got the email. I'll show you, where one person gave me a set amount. Like, if you do this, I will give you this much money. And it was a like send an email type situation. It wasn't like work for me and I will provide you with money.
Yeah.
It wasn't like do a private class for me and I'll give you money. It was reply to my email the way I want you to reply to my email. And then I will give you this amount of money. And then that's like, I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm not, like, I'm fucking broke. We're probably gonna get kicked out of this house really soon.
Like, buddy, the
I still have my dignity.
I have left is my pride.
My fucking dignity and my pride.
I'm not giving it to you.
Like, I will be homeless. You will find me doing concealed carry classes out of the fucking underpass of 6th and fucking I-25. But I will not. I will not.
It's so stupid, but it's like, it's not, Yeah.
Can the next governor repeal all these laws? No. The next governor cannot repeal all of these laws. It would have to be presented as a bill in order for it to be. Connection has been lost. I don't know if it's me or if it's you, but
Still says on air for me, and
Okay,
it
it's
still
still
says live.
cool. It said that the connection was lost.
Okay. I did see a little orange thing flash, and then it went away. So
Yeah.
Jay is doing some voodoo on us.
So no, the next governor cannot repeal this, and Colorado historically has not elected Republican governors, even when Colorado was a purple state, and even when Colorado was what humans would consider conservative, they still elected Democrat governors. Like that's one of the weird things, and I used to appreciate that about Colorado. That Colorado was super fucking like it didn't give a fuck about D or R. It just like who's the better person, what they believed was the better person for the job, even if I still disagreed with it. Um it's yeah, Colorado had one Republican governor in like 30-40 years. So it's I don't think the next governor is going to be Republican. I don't think the next governor is going to be pro gun. And even if they were, they can't do it. They can't do it.
Yeah. And one thing the legislature, loves doing is reversing itself and passing laws to repeal laws that they just passed. So, and that's sarcasm. That's not going to happen. They're not going to, the legislators are not going to reverse their positions on these things. So, the laws that are on the books, the only way we get those back is in the courts.
Yeah.
Well,
there's other ways, but
yeah,
we're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Although it could be argued that one is probably a lot cheaper than the other one. If we're just counting dollars here, probably a lot cheaper to go with the
we just need to hire Mexican Shane Gillis.
So and this is why those lawsuits are important, but very limited resources with these lawsuits. So RMGO is focusing solely on a couple of issues instead of all of the issues, and there's a couple other organizations that are doing their own. I think FPC is participating. Is it FPC that's participating in the repealing of the tax?
They actually they all are.
Oh, okay, they all are.
They all are. Every single one of them. So FPC, the NRA, CSSA through the NRA, like it's kind of a joint effort. I think it's like 4 or 5 organizations that are suing, minus RMGO because the infighting. But yeah, there's several organizations that are doing it.
Yeah.
So you don't want the right wing. Yeah, you don't want any wing, left or right.
Yeah,
because they all suck balls.
You want the piece that holds the scale together. That's what you want.
Correct. The shaft.
So, yeah, the shaft. Give me the shaft. Put it on my trachea. Yeah, and I kind of going back to the original point about Mexican Shane Gillis and all this stuff. This was true after 9/11, and it's still true now. All the authoritarianism that you celebrate because it's what you think is on your side is eventually going to get turned against you.
Yeah.
That's just the way it works. It's never worked any differently than that. And the only thing that has prevented that from happening in the past is that people are willing to accept the risk of not having everything the way that they want it, so that they don't live in a society where the government has the authority to inflict it on you.
I just had this kind of okay debate with my peeps over at the Firearms Injury Prevention Initiative, and they're writing a flyer up and they're presenting statistics, and one of the flyers was kind of like, hey, policy exists, and if we're going to do policy, this is the way we should do it. So I told them, like, well, this is just you supporting policy. Like this is you kind of backhandedly saying you support policy, and I thought you didn't support policy. And well, they give their reason why, and so I'm about to say something that's going to ruin us forever, again and again. But as I'm running for office, I'm actually running as a Democrat. I'm primarying Lorena Garcia. And so I expressed this to them, like, the problem with you saying I support a policy because it in academia it shows one thing or another, and like the problem with humans that don't want any gun laws is that we don't have a say in them in any way, shape, or form. Like, because if I had my say in a gun law, it'd be like, hey, no more gun laws. That's my gun law. There you go. That's my gun law. But that's the problem is you say we should support him, we should keep an eye on him, they should respect freedom. And I get it. Like I appreciate that you want laws to respect freedom and autonomy and all that stuff. Like, but that the problem is that I won't be in that conversation. Like I will not be in that conversation. That's true for healthcare. That's true for everything else. Marijuana, I'm huge on, and I've said this plenty of times on TV, and I think if you drink and you do drugs, you're a fucking weak peasant that doesn't know how to control their emotions. But I will not take that away from anybody to do that. From anybody to do that. And only because I know that there's things that I do that people would say the same thing. Well, you do that. You have sex with way too many midgets. That
How many is too many? Because they only count for half. So.
So people would say the same thing about that situation, and the same thing, like you're dealing with your traumas in that way, and you're weak too, and I understand that. Like I'm only as free as my neighbor is. So this is the hilarity of humans wanting one king and replacing it with another king. This is why I'm so sad that I can't wear the shirt you gave me anymore. The no king shirt, because
they stole it.
They stole it, and
they don't mean no kings. They just mean none of your king.
Not your king.
Yeah.
And that's the problem is like, no, there should be none whatsoever. None, not here or there. Somebody wrote me and asked me, what's your position on this, that, in the typical abortion, immigration. Like my default position is the government should not be involved in it. Because as soon as it's involved, then it could be involved in my life. And it could be involved in your life. And that's the fucking problem with the gun stuff right now in the state of Colorado for sure, is it's going to be really tough for us to get it back. Even if we got pro-gun people in there, it'd be super fucking tough to get it all back.
Yeah. The enforcement of the immigration stuff is relying on the flock system, the flock camera system.
Yeah.
And that system has enormous potential for all kinds of tracking of any kind of behavior.
Well, you see what happened to that chick in Lakewood, I believe.
I've seen a few stories, but I don't know any specific ones. So
this lady gets a knock by a detective and says, "You stole stuff." She's like, "What the fuck you mean I stole stuff? I've been chilling here." Like, well, we have the flock cameras, and the flock camera told me that you did this.
Mm-hmm.
And is it Lakewood? Lakewood lady accused of stealing. Somebody, we need a fucking Jamie. We need a we need somebody like fucking chop
up, Jamie.
Pull that up, Jamie.
We'd ask Jay to do it, but I'm not sure what kind of answer we get.
He's like, well, the shrooms are saying.
Dude's running his own Manhattan Project in the comments.
This motherfucker just discovered cancer, and we're over here fucking laughing at fucking Jay. This motherfucker just discovered cancer and solved all of the fucking world's problems. We're like, fucking weirdo. Cobb who wrongfully accuses woman caught on video. But yeah, they used the flock camera system, and it was wrong. Misidentified her. And I think, again, even if we separate how you feel about immigration, how you feel about speeding, how you feel about cops, how you feel about anything like this is not good.
Yeah.
This is
one of the things, practically speaking, that gun owners talk about a lot, especially people who can conceal carry everywhere all the time, etc. See, there you go. Just prove the point. I received 100 messages today with Restream chat. Thanks, Jay. Is that some people carry guns in places where they
Oh,
are.
you just got awarded. Hold on, it took me a while to process it. You just got awarded.
I just got awarded.
You
I
just
received a
won
major
something.
award. Some people carry guns in places they're not supposed to. And the idea is basically like, if nobody knows, then who's it hurting? And I, take my own safety into my hands, and I'll take the risk of somebody maybe one day finding that gun when they shouldn't. But there's technology out there, and Flock is probably developing it right now. But there are other technologies that already exist to detect firearms. And it's being used in places where you're not supposed to have a gun already. But this continued escalation of government authority and exercising that authority with this technology, it's kind of like dragnet technology. It's not going to end well for gun owners. I don't care
No.
if you're a Democrat, Republican, if you're an illegal immigrant, or your daddy came over here on the Mayflower. It is not going to end well for gun owners. So
no, it's and I think for gun people, for pro 2A people, like, this is, you really have to analyze your own hypocrisies and be real about them. There was a time where I had to come to the conclusion that I was a huge fucking hypocrite. This is in the middle of me helping a presidential candidate. I was kind of sitting with his kids. We were in a green room and we were talking and shit like that, and it was kind of when it dawned on me that, the fuck, I don't believe any of this shit. Like, I don't. Why am I even here? But I don't think enough people do that, right? Like, I don't think enough people sit there and say, like, I'm a fucking idiot. Like, this is dumb. Like, why am I participating in this garbage? Because now you have to accept that you're wrong. Like, I seriously, sincerely hope that the people that are saying it's okay that the US government is forcing everybody to walk around with papers and prove, like, that's not how your forefathers, as flawed as they were, envisioned this nation to be. Like, I promise you, that's not what they fucking had. Like, they fucking slap you. They dick slap you. Syphilis dick slap you.
Well, speaking of that, I was watching the Ken Burns Revolutionary War series, and one of the things
I've heard it's good. I think you told me that it was good.
I like Ken Burns, so I'm biased.
I don't know who Ken Burns is.
I like this series that I've seen him, and he did an interview on Rogan, and I like the way he approaches his projects. I don't agree with everything that he may or may not believe. What do I know? But I like the projects he does.
You believe everything Rogan says.
Oh, I love everything Rogan says. In the series, it talked about the hypocrisy.
Oh, this is not who I thought it was. Like, this guy's a dweeb.
Ken Burns?
Yeah.
Yeah, super dweeb.
Oh, shit. I had no clue who he was.
Oh, okay. But one of the things that he that they pointed out in the series was how hypocritical the founders were. And I'm not talking about slavery. I'm talking about everything that they did. They taxed the colonies to raise an army without their consent.
Yeah.
So, like, in order to fight this Revolutionary War, they had to go around and tax people and arrest people for not doing what they wanted them to do, with no voting, no, nothing. Correct. It was just like, this is the way it is, and if you don't like it, you're going to jail, or we're going to burn your house down. Which is exactly what the British did. So you had colonies, towns, and villages and stuff stuck in the middle, where if they, just like in Vietnam, if they helped one side, that the other side was going to come burn down their house.
Correct.
And if they refused to help, the same problem was going to happen. So we have an ideal of freedom, but we have to accept that that our own desires and our own approaches to that are flawed in their own ways. And
correct.
And hopefully that will help you not take yourself so seriously, because I think that's the major problem. Everybody's taking everything so freaking seriously right now. They're making everybody else's problem their problem, instead of just taking a breath and being like, hey, we don't have to participate.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, and your participation will eventually, again, we said this at the beginning, your participation at some point is going to come back and be participated against you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna be like, that's not what I wanted with this. And I'm like, well, if I can do it to them, then you gave me the thumbs up to do it to you.
Yeah.
When you said it was okay to do it to them.
Yeah.
I would much rather just be so fucking uncomfortable with the shit that I hate around me and understand, like, I can move, I can leave, I can step away from this, I can whatever. And then when I go home, then I'll do my own weird shit. And then
Mm-hmm.
I just hope nobody better fucking tell me what the fuck to do. Because I dealt with your weird shit. Like,
Yeah.
I dealt with your weird stuff.
Yeah. I finally agree with something Jay said. He said nothing matters anymore. Keep that in mind, everybody.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
Edgar can tell you all about that.
So here's what I'm gonna do. We'll wrap this up really quick. I'm gonna finish by saying one fucking word about this idea of fixing scarcity, because I actually just talked about this on Tuesday on a podcast about science. Because that's all this has been, is scarcity, and I'm gonna say one word and then see where Jay, all by they themselves, is going to go all by themselves. So I think that's where we should. I'm gonna fucking do that. I'm gonna fucking do that, and then we'll go from there. But what do we have to plug?
We got the classes March 14th and 15th. According to Jay, these are not going to help you, but if you want to get more proficient with your handgun and or your semi-automatic rifle, we have the IDS classes for pistol and carbine March 14th and 15th, Colorado Springs. What else?
I am I'm probably gonna get serious about my campaign. So if any of you guys want to help me manage that and help me with that campaign, just get a hold of me and we can have a conversation about that. Also, documentary starting to wrap that shit up, so be on the lookout for that documentary.
Do you have a working title?
Yeah, Stigma. Stigma, Firearms and Mental Health. Stigma, Firearms and Mental Health. I think I already have the IMDb and all that shit for that. But yeah, so be on the lookout for that. Actually, you know what? Instead of saying it, I'm just gonna leave it up on the screen, and then we can just end it like that. So
yeah, sounds good.
Here's this for solving scarcity. Have a good one, folks.
All right. Peace.